evening, I would like to start off by reading a land acknowledgement. We want to acknowledge that we gather in San Mateo County on the traditional land of the Ohlone peoples, past and present, and honor with gratitude the land itself and the people who have stewarded it throughout the generations. This calls us to commit to continuing to learn how to be better stewards of the land we inhabit as well. To acknowledge the traditional territory is to recognize its longer history, reaching beyond colonization and the establishment of European colonies, as well as its significance for the indigenous peoples who lived and continued to live upon this territory, and whose practices and spiritualities are tied to the land and continue to develop in relationship to the land and its other inhabitants today. Thank you. As we begin our event, I want to get a couple of thank you and recognitions out. First, we would like to thank the San Mateo County Board of Supervisors for providing the Transgender Day of Remembrance proclamation on November 17th in their Board of Supervisors meeting. We would also like to thank the Board of Supervisors for raising the transgender flag at the Hall of Justice County Center this morning at 8:30 a.m. I'm going to now show a video of the transgender flag raising.
Dana, can I get a picture of you? Three, hopefully a picture of you three. Yeah, save it.
That was our transgender flag raising. You can view that in a social distancing space, please, at the Hall of Justice County Center. This event is being brought to you by a collaborative of community partners. San Mateo County LGBTQ Commission, San Mateo County Pride Initiative, Behavioral Health Resource Services Office of Diversity and Equity, Adolescents Counseling Services, Outlet, Community Overcoming Relationship Abuse, CORA, and the Redwood City Public Library, Evergreen's Giving Tree, and Island United Church of Foster City. I'm now going to show a brief PowerPoint with housekeeping materials. Here again is a list of the community partners that has collaborated together for this event. Few housekeeping rules. Please keep yourselves on mute. Presenters, unmute yourself when it is your time to speak. Having your video on is optional. Respect everyone, both participants and presenters. The live stream recording of this event is also showing on YouTube on the Redwood City Public Library YouTube channel. It includes closed captions for any that may need accessibility. We have support counselors available during and after the program. To view the event, again via YouTube, here is the link that you would be able to go to. You can also look within our chat, and the link should be available there for you. We do have counseling support available. If there's need for it during the event, please call Zachary Comtos or Dena Robinson. These are the numbers that you will be able to reach them at. Post-event counseling and support will be from the hours of 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. There is a Zoom room just for counseling. Here is the meeting ID number and the passcode. That information should be also available for you in the chat. Here's a little history of what Transgender Day of Remembrance means. As well as what the transgender flag colors signify. Here is what our program looks like agenda-wise. You have me, Dana Johnson, with the welcome. After, we'll be going into the reading of the names, followed by poetry readings by Dena Rod, they, them pronouns, and Gentle Ramirez, they, them pronouns. We'll then move on to our speakers, C. Chambers, he, him pronouns, and Lexi Shimmers, she, her pronouns. We'll then have a community open mic facilitated by Ushani Degar, Adolescents Counseling Services, Outlet Youth Coordinator, pronouns of they, them. They will also provide the logistics of the open mic at that time. And then a final remarks. Once again, providing you with counseling support if needed. Lastly, we would like to thank you all for gathering here. Thank you for the community for joining us. If you want to become more involved with transgender issues and or the LGBTQ plus communities in San Mateo County, please reach out to the San Mateo County Pride Center, San Mateo County Pride Initiative, or San Mateo County LGBTQ Commission. Ask if one of the TDOR committee members can please provide links for those three entities. Everyone, please stay safe and healthy, wear a mask, and please take the proper precautions. We have a variety of individuals here with a background image of Transgender Day of Remembrance as I have here. Those individuals are our Transgender Day of Remembrance committee members. And so you may see the different things in the chat coming from these different individuals' names. Just know that these are people that are helping to provide you with as much resources and information that you may need this evening. We also have individuals that have a background image of Trans Live Matters. Again, a background image of the Trans Live Matter. That is how you will be able to find support counseling if you are unable to find that information within the chat. As you see, besides having their image, they also have an asterisk and it says support in their name. If at any time you need that support, please feel free to reach out. This time, that is all for our housekeeping. We are now going to prepare for the reading of the names. I would like to provide you a little information about the reading of the names. There are a lot of different numbers that you may see in regards of how many individuals we have lost this year. We, in our video, have 34, and since then, this video was completed last week. Since then, there has been another murder that has occurred. So the number actually is more than 34. And also want to state that there are some that may not even be reported or listed based on their gender identity, assigned gender, or maybe some question marks around an individual's gender. So we're saying that to say, you know, it really would be great if these violent acts can stop. If you, by any chance, are looking at the numbers, each year for the past 3 to 4 years, they have went up. And on one occasion, that means that maybe they're being reported more to try to put a stop to that, which in that place is a good thing, but then it's also a bad thing that it's even happening. And it continues to happen. So the hope, again, is that a stop can be put to this. Want to provide you all with a trigger warning. Again, a trigger warning. The video is very impactful and touching. And if you do need any of that support, please feel free to reach out to our support counselors. But it is an impactful and emotional type of a video. So just wanted to provide everyone with that. We'll now go to Cody, who will be showing. Thank you, Cody.
Dustin Parker, age 25. Neolisa Luciano Ruiz, age 28. Yampi Mendez Arocho, age 19.
Monica Diamond, age 34. Lexi Ebony Sutton, age 33. Joanna Metzger, age 25.
Penelope Diaz Ramirez, age 31. Serena Angelique Velasquez Ramos, age 32. Leila Pelaez Sanchez, age 21.
Nina Pop, age 28. Hele J. O'Regan, age 20. Janae Thompson, age 33. Tony McDade, age 38.
Elena Reyes Hernandez, age 37. Dominique Remy Fells, age 27. Ria Milton, aged 25. Ryan Egypt Powers, aged 43.
Brayla Stone, aged 17. Merci Mack, aged 22. Shockey Peters, aged 32.
Bree Black, age 27. Summer Taylor, age 24. Marilyn Casares, age 22.
Tiffany Harris, Dior H. Ova, age 32. Quiasha D. Hardy, age 22. Aja Raquel Roan Spears, age 32.
Key Sam, age 24. Ariane Burnett, age 37. Leah Green, age 29. Michelle Michelin Ramos Vargas, age 35.
Alicia Harris, 33. Brooklyn Ashuna, 20. Carol Blackwood, 39. Angel Unique, 25.
Thank you. We're going to now have a moment of silence to memorialize all those that we've lost. I'm going to ask everyone if they can please join me in the moment of silence for 34 seconds for the 34 victims that we have lost. Once the time is up, I will hit the chime to gather us back together. Thank you. Thank you. If you are interested in further viewing the TDOR bios that we had here in the video, please visit the San Mateo County LGBTQ Commission website. They are available there. The website is lgbtq.smcgov.org, and you can find that information in our chat. We are now going to move on in our program and begin with our poetry selections. Our first poet that we are going to bring to our space is Gentle Ramirez. Gentle Ramirez, they, them pronouns, is a trans, non-binary poet from the Bronx. Gentle's work centers poetry to revolutionize concepts surrounding race, gender, sexuality, ethnicity, class, ability, citizenship, universal forces, and more. They hope to build community worldwide, enjoy freedom struggles domestically and abroad. Gentle is a 2021 J.P. Morgan Chase and Co-Lounging Leaders Fellow, a 2021 Bessemer, and please, if I mispronunciated that, please share a pronunciation for it. Fellow finalist, a 2020 finalist for the Langston Hughes Community Poetry Reading Committee's Prize and a recipient of the Alawantin. Again, you may need to pronunciate that for me. Thank you. Sula Freedom Fighters Grant 2020. Gentle is also a New Jersey Poetry Out Loud finalist and a 2019 semifinalist at ACUI's College Union Poetry Slam Invitational. Their work has been featured in New York United, Bryant Park Poetry, West 10th, the Columbia Spectre, the Providence Journal, Poet New York, Right About Now Poetry, Washington Square News, Arts Alchemy Magazine, Davidson College Sanku Journal, in anthologies, and more. Finally, Gentle is a BA candidate at New York University, and most recently, the author of their first book, Utrum. Let's please welcome to our space, Gentle Ramirez.
Hello, thank you everyone. Thank you to the LGBTQ San Mateo County Commission's team. I'm hoping that my technology is up and good and you all can hear me. And I also want to thank you all for honoring the trans lives that are no longer with us. This evening, I will share about 4 different pieces. And I will start with this one titled, I Pledge Betrayal, after the Pan-African Pledge of Allegiance, which I will read now. We pledge allegiance to the red, black, and green, our flag, the symbol of our eternal struggle, and to the land we must obtain. One nation of Black people with one God of us all, totally united in the struggle for Black love, Black freedom, and Black self-determination. This one is called I Pledge Betrayal. I pledge allegiance to myself for this body, and to my transcestors and trans descendants who will never hear this poem. I pledge to be thankful for all it can do and all it cannot. I pledge to feed you when you are hungry and to hold you unconditionally. And to gender dysphoria, I know you'll choke. Right hand on the Bible, I've been force-fed lies about this body and told those lies were liberty. I tell you, I drowned in the baptism pool with everyone to witness, my skin not even my own. Cried out prayers for anyone who would listen. After swallowing my own tongue for communion, I addressed the prayers to myself. I was made feminine before I was made free, and so I've been chasing this exodus, this justice, my masculinity, my androgyny for my own namesake. I pledge allegiance to my body and to the liberation for which it stands, to Black trans people domestically and abroad for all the godlikeness in us. I pledge betrayal to gender. I say, fuck it. What has it ever done for me, or Black folk for that matter? The history of hysterectomies and gynecology tell us gender is a white folks concept if it tells you nothing else. And so I tell you, I got no interest in propelling colonization, that little Black kids can be boys and girls and neither if they say so, that being non-binary got nothing to do with womanhood, and that the most unprotected person in America is the Black trans woman. Imagine what people could build as one body. We'd be indivisible, fighting for reparations with love and peace for all. Thank you. This next one is titled, What Does Shakespeare Know About Self/Black Love? Because after the poison don't work, the tears burn trails in my dermis. I tip the earth on its axis and the created craters get colonized. After homicide goes unacquitted, my larynx gets chained up. My toe bones get crushed. To be or not to be is a people can survive, or can a people survive? Shakespeare knows nothing about the loves I keep losing, or the siblings I had to let go and remember, about the love that keeps me leaking the blues. Thank you. This next piece I wanted to mention because it's really been sitting with me. It's a quote from Lorraine Hansberry. I think about Lorraine's work a lot, and I thought that this quote was very fitting. So I will read it now. Despair? Did someone say despair as a question in the world? Well then, listen to the sons of those who have known little else if you wish to know the resiliency of this thing you would so quickly resign to mythhood, this thing called the human spirit. And I will close out with this poem. It is titled, Waiting on White Supremacy to End is Waiting for Jesus to Return, AKA Death to America. And they say we ended racism, anti-trans violence, white supremacy, that Jesus returned down to earth just to see it. And witnesses finally believe Jesus isn't the only one able to perform miracles. And they asked how? And I say together, me and my trans, me and my queer, me and my Black selves, me and my communities, we all we got. We today blasted our favorite song and danced. Let a tragedy be a tragedy. Looked for a way out and found it. Held myself as a nurturer would. Mourned for another person I did not know. Felt that it could have been me. Mourned at the frequency that happens. There is no way to make a virtual funeral sound poetic, nor a viral funeral, and so I won't. I will tell them the story of the time I did not need my grief to be inspiring, and wrote this to truth, to remind myself that I am among the living, to always take a time to remember, to be tenderly loving to myself as I live some more. Thank you again. Thank you so much. And I wish you all stay safe and healthy. And I'm so happy to share the space with you tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Gentle Ramirez. Snaps, claps, and thank you for your selections. Thank you for being in the space. We're going to now prepare for our next poet selection. Dena Rod. Dena Rod is a writer, editor, and poet based in the Bay Area. A graduate of San Francisco State University, they have a MA in English Literature. They run the Radar Productions weblog and are the creative nonfiction editor of Homology Lit. And please, if I pronunciated that incorrectly, please share that. And the former managing editor of Argot Magazine, a Webby-nominated queer nonprofit. They were selected to tour with Sister Spit. Radar Productions show us for Spine's residency. Kearney Street Workshops Interdisciplinary Writers Lab, and Winter Tangerine Summer Writers Workshop. Through creative nonfiction essays and poetry, Dena works to illuminate their diasporic experiences of Iranian heritage and queer identity, combating negative stereotypes of their intersecting identities in the mainstream media. Let's please welcome to our space, Dena Rod. Dena Rod, the space is all yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. My name is Dena Rod, and I definitely feel like I needed a breath after Gentle's reading and the reading of the names. And just call in our ancestors who are no longer with us for this reading. This first poem is called An Ode to Femmes. Salt breaks mascara swiped like spidery lines over and over until they reach the arc of darkened eyebrows. Tears dripped down my face. I dragged myself as I called for love, speaking red lipstick nothings to get what I want against shining teeth. The sharp miracle still denied again. Don't expect diamonds to fall down my shoulders into my palms while the perfect twerk doesn't shake anything that shouldn't. I belong to the kinship of burning your neck on a curling iron, searing skin with the hot syrup of wax, razor bumps peppering where hips crease thighs, gluing fur to lashes. Looked upon, bathed in buttery light as we adorn and drape what's seen as unneeded, that unset altar never worshipped into a knot of fire. Wiping away our tears with peacock feathers, we spit pearls of wisdom, yet no one is holding their hands out with needle and thread to sew them into a necklace. This next poem is new, titled Grief. She stands in front of me, wearing gray, cobwebbed from stillness, despite how she moves through me daily. I try to spin appreciation from a distance, yet she greets me with my morning cup. She drapes arms across my shoulders, sorrow's embrace. My all hours companion, no matter time of day. Over the years, she's grown airy and delicate, but gossamer gowned, she still sticks to me. That deep anguish turned familiar. She watches as I dress, slip my ring on, declaring our matrimony. She slips her loafers on. After all, we have places to go. This next poem is called Friends Like Us, which was actually what the original name of the TV show Friends was proposed as. Friends like us. We fit on the couch with Ross, Rachel, and Chandler slotted side by side for the cold open. And for once, Chandler can talk about how his dad is a transgender drag queen without shame as he sips his coffee, longing for a cigarette he won't let himself have. This time, there is no agony over inviting Chandler's dad to his and Monica's wedding because she won't be the only trans person there. After all, we're invited too. No one can hear the laugh track this time because we remember Marcia and Sylvia. But it's clear that if we weren't there to listen to Chandler, the shame would creep back into his face as T-word slurs and laughs would fall out of Ross and Rachel's mouths. And who knows what Joey would say. I saw the way he looked me up and down when we first walked in through the coffee shop. And I immediately want to throw a ring of salt around myself to keep the how you doing away from my person. But it's too late. It's too late for those of us who are no longer here. Too late to blast this coffee shop open with the girls who were on the corner before we marched in like ants for a morsel of conquest, beans and all. Maybe if you saw us on your TV screen in Central Perk, friends like us would also include the ones who were laugh-tracked away from their humanity. Liminal. A cuticle ripped too deep, that tender place between skin and nail meeting. The space between boy and girl is where I exist, where lipstick stains, bow ties, and glitter falls on mustaches. Yet with two targets sprouting from seeds buried in my chest, torso ticking, raised to be female. Look at her figure. The building of my body stacked against me, mocked with short haircuts, despite the pleasure derived from clippers against my scalp, mirrored the way stealing Baba's ties made me feel. Swimming in flannel, liminal here in this third, fourth, fifth, too many to count, existing on fringe spaces. Not folklore, but fact, blurring instead of opposing. Two poles, magnets that repelled each other. I am not imaginary. I am the sore you can't stop pushing down on to feel the hurt, to make sure you're still alive. This next poem is responding to the last 4 lines of Sam Sack's poem from On Prep or On Prayer, when I say pre-exposure prophylaxis. You know each new medicine trails our dead behind it like wedding cans. Listen, you can hear them now, can't you? This next poem is called Trials. I hear the cans and ask, what do we learn from the dead? Our doctors, before they were doctors, crept into graveyards at night, unearthed bodies to dissect and slice into uncharted flesh. Lesson planned by autopsy. Every day, we're learning from our dead if they're still infectious with rigor mortis. Can they share their organs with the living? Walk a test tube, a genotype split with a second strain that couldn't kill alone, but rather intubated complicity down a larynx as systems shut down. No reset button to turn back on. The sharp prevalence of the question, cause of death, natural or accident? What's the severity of this loss other than a magnitude of learning potential? Is the lesson to never take that lash falling on your cheek, the heat of freshly brewed tea against a sore lip for granted? We can't look in the rearview mirror, leaning into every new day, leaving trails of salt as cans drag through. We hear the cans. This next poem is so new, it doesn't have a title yet. Wake up. Get my phone, which draws me like the moon. It's a dangerous new day as I scroll through each story flashing with a desire to leave consciousness. We witness cries through this portal every day, heart to head, cries for funds, for evolutions, which breeds disquiet for those who do not understand. But we refuse to bend, push each moment against moonlight without it watering down our features. You didn't know the sparkling bits of us until you sank low to the ground, and under your fingers, you felt the house music smashing the disco ball to the ground. You look down and see the broken car windshield glass mixed with dirt, humbly crossing wet fear, dripping like a newborn miracle. I know my tongue rusted against time, but cool liquid loosened me. You can hear me now. Thank you so much. My name is Dena Rod. You can find more of my work at my website, denarod.com. And I have a book coming out next May, my first book of poetry. Thank you so much.
Snaps, claps, love for Dena Rod. Thank you so much, Dena Rod, for your amazing selections. Looking forward to that book, as well as I like that shirt. I really like yes, I like that shirt. Oh, and there's a bag. Nice. Thank you again, Dena Rod, for sharing the space. We're going to now prepare for our speakers. Our first speaker is C. Chambers, he, him pronouns. C. Chambers, a Southern-born 80s baby, raised in Las Vegas and residing in the Bay Area for the past 15 years. C. Chambers is the embodiment of diverse experiences. During high school, C was an accomplished athlete, winning a state championship for basketball 4 times and a state championship for track 2 times. Later in 2016, C was one of the first inductees into the Centennial High School in Las Vegas, Nevada Basketball Hall of Fame. During college at St. Mary's College of California in Moraga, C served as Vice President of Diversity Outreach and Education and was the recipient of the 2009 Lavender Graduation Leadership Award. In 2009, C graduated from St. Mary's College of California with a Bachelor's of Art in Sociology. After college, C went on to serve as a benefits analyst for the Human Service Agency of San Mateo County, providing public assistance, benefits, and information for health insurance, cash aid, and CalFresh. And C currently serves in the role today. Pursuing a passion for health and wellness in 2018, C obtained a health coach certification from the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. With the knowledge gained from this training, C founded HYER, Higher Wellness, a company which believes if you heal yourself, expect results. Higher Wellness encourages individuals to live an all-natural holistic lifestyle and focuses on plant-based diets, smoking cessation, sugar addictions, meal planning, and educating individuals on the healthy consumptions of cannabis and alternative healing strategies. Higher Wellness specifically targets marginalized communities of color with the goal of removing food stigma. She is known as an advocate, philanthropist, artist, coach, educator, chef, and 24/7 hustler. For booking information, health, coaching, and meal planning, C can be reached in a variety of methods. Let's please welcome to our space our speaker, C. Chambers. C, please share with our audience. Thank you.
Dana,
So I
we
just want to
need
share
to.
with everyone that C is currently having some technology issues here. Plans to work those things out and then return to the space. Shall we go ahead, Tanya, and move on to our next speaker and then come back to C?
Yes, Lexi is here too.
Okay. I'm sorry, everyone. We're going to continue and we're going to just go to our next speaker and we'll bring C back. We have coming to our space, Lexi Shimmers. Lexi has a variety of long years of experience working with LGBTQ plus community in different spaces. Lexi is a board member of the San Mateo County Pride Center Community Advisory Board. Lexi, please feel free to share with the space any other updates regarding your bio as we turn it over now and we ask everyone to welcome to our space speaker Lexi Shimmers.
Hi, I won't be before you long. Thank you for having me. One, I think, important thing for people to know about me is that I was homeless for about a year last year. Right, and it happened right before the COVID started. And while COVID was a disaster for many people, it turned out to be a blessing for me because while people were all facing the shutdown, a lot of attention was brought to homelessness and a lot of action and results were brought to homelessness and also to LGBTQ community who were in that situation as well. So I received a lot of assistance, which I'm happy to report. And it, got me into better situations. And now I'm a person who is housed and also received employment through other assistance through that the Veterans VA has reserved for LGBTQ veterans. So lots of progress is being made. We just need to continue to be visible and continue to have these types of celebrations, these types of this isn't really a celebration, but these types of programs as well. Just something to keep us visible and let people know that we are here and we do count. So while I was homeless, I did write a poem as well. I'm a novice, though I'm not a poet. But this was something that encouraged me in my heart. I've learned one tool that I've learned is to encourage myself. So this was a form of self-encouragement that I constructed. And when I was asked to speak today, I thought, well, what can I share that would help other people? So in the writing that I made, when you hear the word transgender woman, you can put your own name there or where you classify yourself within our community and also apply these encouraging words to yourself. I also want to applaud all the speakers from last year at this same TDOR event because they were all young, up and coming people who some were still in high school. They were trans men from a different perspective than a trans woman, but were able to empathize with the plight of the trans woman and also acknowledge their privilege as they step up into the privileges of becoming men. So I do want to applaud them and acknowledge that as well. And again, thank you for bringing me to this event while I'm still alive. Bring me to this event, without tragedy coming to me. And I truly appreciate that. So here I go. Sorry for the delay here. Oh, albums. There we go. Albums. Okay, and I don't know if you could share, if I could share this with everyone, but I'll just start reading it now. It's called The Flight of the Butterfly. She flaps her wing against the breeze, against the currents. Her life is very short, but during her brief time, her transition is complete. She's no longer in the wrong body, no longer living the same life as before, living off bark and leaves. Now she's surrounded by bees and hummingbirds and other wonderful creatures who make the world better just by being themselves. The flight of the butterfly is random, yet orderly for her. Though her journey is bouncy, swirly, up and down, by the end of her flight, she will land gracefully to rest after having tasted the nectar of the life in the petals of flowers. Every transition is different. Every journey is unique. Every experience beautiful. Every life meaningful. The beauty of the butterfly is fleeting and soon forgotten, but her work and her life changes the world forever by just the flutter of her wings, just her will to have lived. So butterfly, be you. The world may one day be grateful you lived, or never know you changed the world, changed the weather, provided food, among other magical abilities. Transgender woman, you are that beautiful butterfly. May you never stop being uniquely who you are. And then I'll just put this graphic up as my pic so you can all see it. And thank you. That's that's the summation of my speech.
Thank you very much, Lexi. If possible, can you show that picture again? Your
Definitely.
camera was off, and we would love for people to see that wonderful picture. Oh, great. Thank you.
Okay. Now, my head out the way, I guess.
We can see the butterflies.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, it's a little butterfly. But there we go.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Great. Thank you again, Lexi Chambers, for your words, for your poem, and for your drawing. It's wonderful to see you as well again. Thank you for coming to the space.
Thank you.
We're going to now prepare for our speaker, C. Chambers. Sounds like C is all ready to go, have that technology and thing fixed out. And so we'll go ahead, see if you can share with the space anything that I may have left out on your bio. Let's please welcome everyone, C. Chambers, to the space.
Can everybody hear me? Alrighty. Thank you, everyone, for inviting me to the space. I apologize. I don't have a beautiful background, or I don't know. I'm coming with my true, authentic self, as I often do, and showing up at a time where I feel like it's crucial in our community to have representation. And I'm honored to be here, although respectfully, I wish that we didn't have to continue to have these. With that being said, I'll go ahead and get started. I appreciate the introduction. Again, thank you. My name is C. Chambers. I'm a health coach. I'm a plant-based chef. I call myself self-made because I'm self-taught for so many of the things that I've had to do in life. And I've been living my life authentically and unapologetically for the first time in my life. I can say I'm probably as happy as I've ever been. But I can say that I started my journey, at least on hormones, 5 years ago. And at the ripe age of about 21 is when I started identifying as male. This year, I made 33 years old. It was my golden birthday. Also, I wanted to just highlight, obviously, I feel like we've all gone through a lot of stuff for 2020. But I take a deep breath and I was way more emotional today with the reading of the names and just being in the moment, because there are so many people that don't get this moment. And I'm grateful that I've had opportunities and I've actually been surrounded by community and by people that have supported me and that have allowed me to be the individual that I am. And I like to use a term that I call stealth, or otherwise, no one presumably assumes that I'm a trans male. My deepest struggle right now is the identity as the Black male in America, because that's what people see. So it's the eternal struggle that people don't get to witness. That is what I find. But I find myself in spaces where I'm most grateful that I can just be appreciated for just being a regular guy. But I say that and also like to acknowledge education as privilege, health insurance benefits as privilege. I acknowledge these things. I work hard for these things, but these are opportunities and things that have seamlessly allowed me to maintain and live a lifestyle that others have not, that other people have not been so privileged to. And although I don't call myself necessarily waving a flag or constantly having to identify myself as a trans male, I do recognize those opportunities where I share space and where I can educate and further identify and provide a face and another story and something else that someone can identify with. I am someone's son. I'm someone's brother. I'm someone's nephew. I'm someone's uncle. I'm your neighbor. I'm your coworker. I'm your colleague. I'm your friend. I feel like in this day and age, the more that we can acknowledge what we have in common, the less we have this fear mentality of the things that we don't understand. And we have this understanding of the things that we share together as people, and to come together and honor and love one another more and better for being who we are. I feel so sorry for all of those who have lost their lives this past year, and to know that even just this past week, someone else has fallen victim to violence for just living their truth, something that I was blessed to wake up today. I thank all of you for sharing space, for being in the moment, for allowing me to share my story, just a little bit of who I am. I think celebrating life, even in times when it hurts, is one of the most precious things that we can do. So I just want to honor those as though the earlier speakers also acknowledge our ancestors, and I'm just so grateful to also be here. And I don't take that for granted, and I continue to live my life authentically and thoroughly and fully for those individuals who can't. Thank you so much today for allowing me the time to share space. I can be reached online. Hi C Savage on Instagram is probably the easiest way. Health coaching, food, networking. I've got a lot of things going on these days. It's been a crazy, hectic day. So I thank you guys collectively so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, C, for your words, and congratulations too on your journey. Thank you for sharing the space here. That is it for our poets as well as our speakers. We are now going to prepare for our community open mic, and we have Ashani Degar, pronouns of they, them, that will be the facilitator for that portion. Ashani Degar, it works for Adolescent Counseling Services Outlet as the youth coordinator. Before we move over the space to Ashani Degar, I just would like for everyone here to know that here in San Mateo County, our San Mateo County Pride Center, along with assistance from San Mateo County LGBTQ Commission, the San Mateo County Pride Initiative, and Stanford University, has created a survey for the LGBTQ plus community that may have been affected by COVID-19, either affected personally, physically, or financially. We are going to put that survey information in the chat here. And if you reside or work in San Mateo County, please fill out the survey. It's very, very quick survey. We just would like to gather as much resources and services that we can for the LGBTQ plus community. As many of you may know, as we are all battling through this pandemic, there is not a lot of data that is being collected for the LGBTQ plus community. And so we are hoping that for our San Mateo County LGBTQ plus community we have, that we can collect this data so that we can better serve the community and those that may be affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. So that link is in the chat. Please, please, again, fill out that survey when you get a chance. It actually will be closing on December 4th. And so as sooner you can do that, that would be great. At this point, I'm going to now move this part over to our open mic facilitator, Ashani Degar. Please take over the space. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Dana. Thanks to all of our presenters and speakers so far. As mentioned, we are going to move into our open mic portion of the event. And so this is going to follow as much of an organizational structure as we can. If you are interested in speaking, please raise your hand. You can do so by hovering at the bottom of your screen. You should see an option to select participants in the group. Once you pull that up, there should be a little button that says raise hand in the corner. Please click that. We will be able to see your hand raised and call on you as we go. Once you are done speaking, please let us know by either muting yourself, turning off your video, or simply saying that you are done. Please, we are extending the program slightly to 5:45. Please keep in mind we have about 30 minutes for folks who want to speak. Take the time you need, but also keep in mind that there are others waiting in line behind you. Feel free to private message me if you have some obligation that means you need to leave early and need to move up the list of speakers. You are not required to have your video on while speaking. Please also private message me if you feel that you may have been skipped or passed over for some reason. Although if you can avoid doing that just to check if you're on the list, that would be great. I'm expecting to be monitoring a fair amount of chats, hopefully. If you feel it is applicable, feel free to provide trigger warnings before you speak. And you are welcome to say a few words, share a poem, provide whatever you would like to bring to this space. And we are here to listen to you and support you. I am going to stop sharing my screen now just so that I can see all the participants better. If you need if you need the instructions repeated on how to join the line for the open mic, please private message me and I will walk you through that. I'm going to show the instructions to join the open mic line one more time as we wait for some people to line up for this. All right, Jim, if you would like to share, I will stop sharing my screen and the floor is yours.
My name is Jim Matulski, and I'm from Island United Church in Foster City. And I just want to express my gratitude to everyone who spoke tonight and to express both my sadness and my shame at how Christianity has been so unwelcoming to transgender people, and also express that if you're looking for a spiritual community, Foster City United Church is a welcoming, embracing, celebrating community for LGBT people. And I want to say explicitly, we welcome, love, embrace, accept transgender people, friends, family, and allies. So thank you for doing this today. And I pray for the day when we don't have Transgender Day of Remembrance. But I'm so glad that we have this acknowledgement and celebration of transgender life too. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jim. Sawyer, I see your hand is raised whenever you are ready.
Okay, thank you. Just give me a moment. Okay. Okay, there you go. Hi, I'm Sawyer. I actually spoke at this event last year, and so I just wanted to express a lot of gratitude. I know it's really difficult that can't all be in a physical space together. But I just wanted to thank everyone who put this together, because when I came last year, it meant a lot to me. It was it's a really somber event, but I think it still is really beautiful to be in community with a lot of trans people, specifically trans people of color. And so I'm really grateful to the county and everyone, again, the Pride Center and the people who put this on, because it really is a sacred space. And I want to again thank everyone who spoke tonight. Yeah, that's kind of all I got, but I just wanted to really express my gratitude and talk about how important this space is to me.
Thank you very much, Sawyer, and we appreciate you being here, as well as everybody else who's in attendance. The floor is currently open, so if folks would like to say something. I'm going to put out a last call or request for any folks who might want to speak at this time. Of course, you all don't have to, but if anybody feels they may want to.
Can I sing a song?
Yes, you absolutely may.
So this is a song that's been on my heart for like a long time. I was in college at the time. I was 29 years old, just finished 7 years in the military. And I was going to a school that was predominantly white. It was a Christian school, or what do you call it? Nazarene school. So we did attend services between classes and things like that. But on weekends we would have open mic, And I shared this song at one of the open mics. And it's called Many Waters. And it's about the voice of your higher power. For me, the voice of God. So here we go. I'm going to sing it a cappella, so there's no no music. So here we go. As I lie down at my Savior's feet, in this pasture that is rich and green, by river flowing far and deep. I have to change keys, it's a little too high. Beneath fruited branches, it's a little better, of the well-rooted tree. I'm going to start all over in this key here because it sounds better. As I lie down at my Savior's feet. In this pasture that is rich and green, by a river flowing far and deep, beneath fruited branches of a well-rooted tree, I behold the light of my Savior's face. Their hair is white and woolly, his eyes are blazing fire, his tongue is sharp like a two-edged sword. He parts his lips and speaks to me. And I hear a voice like the sound of many waters rushing mightily, like the ocean waves flowing through me. They said, fear not, my child, for I'm with you always, until the end of time. Until the end of time, I am the living one, Alpha and Omega 2. I have no beginning, I have no ending. I was always here before the start of time. And he spoke with a voice like the sound of many waters rushing mightily, like the ocean waves flowing through me. And he spoke with a voice like the sound of many waters. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Lexi. That was awesome. I appreciate it. I hope everybody else in this room appreciated it. And Reverend Terry is going to follow that up with a poem.
Hi, everybody. I'm Reverend Terry, she, her, hers, and I want to offer you this poem by Elizabeth Stevens. Oh, my dear ones, I know you were hoping for a once and done, for an earthquake, for a tidal wave, hoping that if we gave it our all, a single push would be enough. That after this, we could sink back into complacency, normalcy, back into the comfort of whatever privilege we have. I confess, in the secret corners of my heart, I wanted to believe it could be that easy, that justice would emerge, as if from an egg fully grown and not with wet down and weak wings. But, beloveds, we're chipping away at a mountain, not a boulder. Calcified structures created to oppress, control, kill, thousands of years with this stupid idea that some are more worthy. Some deserve power by virtue of who they are, what they look like, which tribe they claim. Erosion is slow work, sweethearts. Celebrate the progress, the triumphs. Celebrate also the heartbreaking almost. Breathe. Rest for a minute, and then get up and turn again towards kindness, towards your neighbor in need, toward those who are still trapped in the stone. Tell them I won't give up. Tell them I am with you. Tell them for you, I will learn to eat rocks. For you, I will keep chewing, keep grinding until the mountain crumbles to dust. Until we never have to do this again.
Thank you very much, Reverend Terry. If anybody else would like to line up to speak for our open mic, please do so. Otherwise, we are going to head into closing out our event. So I'll give it about 10-ish seconds for folks who may be interested in sharing. Otherwise, Dana will close us out. All right, I'm not seeing anybody else raise their hand. So thank you very much to everybody who participated in our open mic. It was excellent, and I applaud you all for your bravery and standing up in front of everybody on this virtual platform. And Dana's gonna, like I keep saying, close us out.
Thank you, Ashani, and thank you for everyone that shared during our open mic, the singing, the thoughtful words, and the poem was very touching. Just some last minute housekeeping things before we close up. Just wanted to remind everyone here that if you did, again, wanted to see the TDOR bios that we have from this year that you saw in the video, and if you wanted to really read the material and take a little bit more time to look things over, you can find that information on the San Mateo County LGBTQ Commission website. That's lgbtq.smcgov.org. And that information is there in our chat. Also, if you would like to further see the event again, let's say next week, let's say down the road in a month, or even in 2021 as we hopefully hurry and transition out of 2020 and into 2021, you can always see this actual event on the Redwood City Library YouTube page. It is going to be there. It's going to live there. And so at any time, you can feel free to view it there. And the next final thing that I would like to say again is to anyone that may need at any time the counseling, we still have that will be open until 6:30. I'm going to ask for one of our TDOR committee members to please, one, put in the YouTube link for the actual event where people can find that at, and then also, if you don't mind, please putting in the actual link for the Zoom for the support counseling, and I see that we have those there. Thank you. So if you do, again, need any extra support, counseling, speaking just to someone, just to refresh and just strengthen your energy, please, we have that open until 6:30 p.m. Once again, I want to say, now that we are coming to the end of the program, to all our community partners that put in their time, that put in the hard work, that helped bring this to the community. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Recognition and thankfulness to San Mateo County LGBTQ Commission, San Mateo County Pride Center, San Mateo County Pride Initiative, Evergreen Giving Tree, Community Overcoming Relationship Abuse, also known as CORA, Adolescents Counseling Service Outlet, Redwood City Public Library, Island United Church of Foster City, San Mateo County Behavioral Health and Recovery Services, and San Mateo County Office of Diversity and Equity. We thank everyone for your time. We thank all you for coming into our space. We hope that we made it a space that was comfortable, a space that even in this negativity of murders that are occurring, there's still some type of a positive connection of change to where we can really try to make a stand against these anti-transgender violent acts. We thank all those that joined us. We want to remind everyone to please stay safe and healthy. Please wear a mask and take the proper precautions as needed. With that being said, I would like to go ahead and say, have everyone have a wonderful evening. Tanya, I don't know if there's anything that you wanted to share, but if not, I was going to go ahead and close us all out. And if not, thank you. Just sharing positive energy with you all, sharing uplifting energy. Please take the time that you need, get the self-care that you need, and have a wonderful evening. Thank you again for joining us, and good night.